Hello and welcome back to the Project Manchester United. We last left off after a very good 8-2 victory against Chelsea. And since then, to be honest, I'm not overly happy with it. Let's have a look at how the game has been before we get into our first Champions League group game against second Champions League group game against Athletic Bilbao. We have probably got the hardest group out of all the groups, but hopefully we can finish top. I think we can. Now, we say it's not good, and although we're still, unbeaten, it's simply down to a 2-2 draw against West Ham in the first episode. We weren't overly happy about that, of course. And then we've just had another 2-2 draw against Brentford, who are sitting and floating with relegation this season. I don't get why we keep getting these 2-2 draws. And even the same against Shrewsbury. We're only beating them 2-1. We're not putting away our chances. Of course, they're away from home. This one was home, but these two are away from home. But we should be putting these chances away. Fulham, we only beat 2-1 with a 93rd minute from winner from Harry Maguire. 1-0 only against Everton. Our lethalness seems to have gone from us. But, of course, we're beating Liverpool 5-0, Chelsea 8-2. Comfortably against Arsenal 2-0. So we've just got to raise these victories a little bit, in my opinion. Today we will be playing against Athletic Bilbao, and then we're going to skip the Leicester game and play against Newcastle, who are currently sitting in second. They've won every game they've played this season. So they are looking like real contenders this season, at least early on. And let's take a look at who they have signed. So their side looks completely different, bar St. Maximin in the side. They've got Kelleher, Trippier, Mancini, Diego Carlos, a top centre-back in my opinion. All the numbers are still based off of our journey save. So if you haven't looked at our journeyman save, make sure you go on the channel and check that out. But Ethan Laird, obviously they bought from us. Good to know he's their starting left back. Souček, Koopmeiners is a good youngster as well. Trincao, Ali, St. Maximin, Tony. So we'll go through their team later. But hopefully we can pull off the victory at home. And by a margin, I want to be scoring loads of goals like we were before. We also have just signed a new contract with the club. We are on £195,000 a week now. We've just signed it. It's a 5-year contract, so good to know that the club want us here for the time being. And look at all those awards. There's no way and no reason they want us there. Also, the competition wins. Can I have a look at our win percentage? 76%. We're unbelievable. But today, let's get into the Athletic Bilbao game. Our starting team will be David De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka is actually quite bad for fitness. Could use a rest, the same as Dalot. But I'm going to play Dalot ahead of Wan-Bissaka. We are going to play Varane and Bastoni in at centre-back with Luke Shaw in at left-back. All those greens look very nice. We are going to have... It's annoying that Pedri's still injured. He should be 2 to 6 more weeks. But I'd love him in that attacking midfielder role. But it's going to be what we are going to do, actually, because I think Milinkovic-Savic is quite suited to this role as well. So I think we're going to play Fernandes here, Bellingham here, and Milinkovic-Savic there. And then we're going to have Fatih Vlahovic. And do I want Rashford? He's the only one in the last 5 games with poor form. We might have to bring in someone else. Could be Cristiano Ronaldo, try to get his fitness up. Mbappe even. Pogba can come out of the squad because he wants to leave anyway. Martial really should get more game time. He deserves it. But the firepower that we've got, you're just not getting it. And I think I'm happy with that otherwise. Could possibly use Jadon Sancho. But we are going to leave it. We've got a fullback, centre-back, centre-mid, and then attacking firehouses that can work really anywhere. So that's all good. Actually, I'm going to I'm going to leave it like that. Although Van der Beek here would be quite a good shout. We are going to play our 4-2-3-1 balance. Now, of course, we've moved away from that. We usually play our 4-3-3 defensive when we are away from home. But I feel like that has been our downfall a little bit. We're not ruthless enough. We're not, attacking enough. So for that reason, we're going to play the 4-2-3-1 attack and just go after Athletic Bilbao. We have the stars, we have the talent to do so. We just need to be able to execute it. So we're going to give them the classic media has hyped you up a lot lately. Let's have a look at their team. Inaki Williams, Munain still there as Pilaqueta. Is he from the Basque area? I know that's how Athletic Bilbao operate, so that's interesting. But look at this. Hardly any faces recognisable in the United team 3 years on, which is obviously good news for us. Now, we'll switch key highlights on and hopefully we can get a good result. Of course, we only have the Champions League to win now, and we'd like to win it by winning every game in our group stage, every game in the knockouts, not concede, etc. We got off to a good start with a 2-0 victory against Roma. There's a key highlight early on in the first minute here. Ansu Fati to Vlahovic, back to Bruno Fernandes, who is our top performer. Vlahovic, he's hit the post. But Bruno, top scorer with 4 goals, top performer in the league. He's just unbelievable. And to be fair, he gets moved around from that advanced playmaker to attacking midfielder role. But he always performs no matter where he is. An unbelievable footballer for the club. And that is why he's one of the few that has kept their place in our team. 10 minutes in, we're dominating the shots. But we're just not as ruthless as we once were. That could be potentially, missing Ronaldo in a few of the games when he was injured, and Mbappe not playing as much, just on the fact that he doesn't want to be here. We're not going to play you. But you would expect Vlahovic to be able to fill that gap. And it's more on the basis, look, 62% possession, 5 shots to none. We're just not getting we're not converting. And we need to do that a lot better. As I think Rafael Varane there on a yellow card already almost scored. And again, a second attempt hitting the woodwork. Maybe teams have found us out and maybe they're just opening or closing the angles a little bit more to make us hit the post, make us hit the woodwork, and then they're able to score a little bit more themselves. Ansu Fati goes through, and a good block there from their defender. As the commentary said, what a run by Fati. It only lacked the finish, and that is our story lately. But away from home, a performance like this is unbelievable, and hopefully we can keep it up. We might move to positive in a minute, especially if they go through and score here. But Luke Shaw doing a very good job there to stop the run from Inaki Williams. A lot of pace on Williams, but Shaw matching him. Bruno Fernandes out to Shaw. Cristiano Ronaldo here, running through, gets tackled by the guy on a yellow. Unfortunately, doesn't get a red, but then again, we don't want to see players get red. And it looks like they're going to score, just as almost predicted. But what a block there. Who was that? Varane, maybe? Great block from our number 15, taken after Nemanja Vidic. Crossed in, Bastoni. Unlucky from us. Again, this is the story. We've started playing with only commentary against some of the teams because we just see so many chances just go to waste that it's almost, what's the point in watching them? We know they're not going to go in unless it's for Athletic Bilbao, who Murcio almost scored there from a very, very weird angle. As the highlight continues, Cristiano Ronaldo to Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, Vlahovic out to Fati. Fati getting a lot of service here on the right-hand side, decides to go back to Diego Dallo. Rafael Varane to Bastoni. We're recycling the possession, moving the ball across, switching the play. Andrew Bellingham, he scores goals like that quite a lot. That's his 3rd goal of the season, and I can almost confidently say each goal is just him picking it up on that edge of the box and just curling it in the top right. I wonder if that's one of his traits or something. But Ronaldo there being patient, Bellingham finding the space, and Bellingham, instead of driving into that space, just says, I know what I'm good at. I'll just curl it in top bins. I do it all the time. And that puts us 1-0 up against Athletic Bilbao, putting us to 6 points in the group, as Roma are currently beating by Leverkusen by 2-1, or they actually have beaten them 2-1. So good result for them. I think I would say it would be Manchester United and Leverkusen going through, in my opinion, but we will see about that. So 1-0, we're going to say, I don't know. I'm going to tell them we've created loads. The scoreboard reflects that. But we need to be doing a little bit better. But I want to keep them in good faith. I want to keep them in good moods. Ansu Fati here a little bit tired. Bellingham a little bit tired. So we might have to look at taking those two off. as Dalot plays it to Vlahovic. I like how Vlahovic comes a bit deeper, but I do need, the Ronaldos, the Fatis, going into that space, the Sergej Milinkovic-Savic's, as that's exactly what we do. We do get the players in the box, but the cross goes straight to Unai Simon, who has actually been touted throughout the season as someone we're interested in, but no truth to that story. We love De Gea, we love Dean Henderson, both of those top goalkeepers, and we're happy to have those. Diego Dalot to Ansu Fati. Vlahovic goes down there. Is that a red card? It is. Inigo Martinez picks up the red card, and with that, we're going to make the subs. So we're going to bring off Ansu Fati, and we're going to bring on Youssoufa Moukoko there. I do want to get Kylian Mbappe on at some point. So what I might do is put a 2-striker formation up, really go for the game here, and hopefully take them out. We are going to play him as an advanced forward, him as a Mazzala, Bruno as the advanced playmaker. So hopefully Mbappe coming on. We do want to use him, obviously, because he's class. It's just the fact that he's so, adamant on leaving the club, even though he has accepted that his injury that he just recently had, it has stopped us from selling him. But even then, teams just aren't interested. I remember reading something throughout the season where, of course, we're trying to ask for 200 million, and I think teams have been offering something like 60 million, which is stupid, as Munain's going to score here. But De Gea, show him why we're not interested in anyone else by pulling off a very, very good save. Are they going to score from the corner here? Brentford did, and I think Shrewsbury did as well. Oh, so it says play for set pieces, but we're actually not very good at them. But Mbappe, we asked for 195 mil, dropped it to 190, dropped it to 185, and I'm almost certain I remember a team coming in saying they're not prepared to pay more than something like 10k. It was in the thousands. It was absolutely disrespectful, let's say, as Diego Dalot's tired. Varane, I think maybe we could drop our tempo just a little bit. Maybe be a little bit more in control of the game. I'll take off the overlaps. I also want to take off focus play through middle. We are going to hold shape, slow the pace down. And other than that, I think everything else should be good. So, 65th minute, still only 1-0. Again, we used to win games like this 4-0, 5-0, etc. Especially when now they've got a red card. They're playing a 4-3-2. We should be attacking them. But it just doesn't seem to happen. Here is Athletic Bilbao in possession. Can we win that against Inaki Williams? We can't. And Bastoni has been sent off. It's going to happen. Wow. I mean, for what, I'm not entirely sure. Let's take a look at who we can potentially bring off. Probably Vlahovic. Leave Mbappe up there on his own. And Vlahovic can come off for Axel Twanzebe, who just slots right in to the side there. And now we're playing a 4-3-3. Or, well, no, we're playing a 4-2-3. There you go. So, 2 red cards in the game. The ref is clearly happy with his cards. Will that affect us? I wouldn't think so. But, you can never be too sure. And again, we're going after the league title this season. We're going after the Champions League, which is the only thing we haven't won. We just don't look convincing enough. And it's not about the signings we've made. I'm not sure. We have to find that out. There's a very yellow and red heavy game here. A lot of people booked, a lot of people on being sent off, as the side looks quite tired. We're not going to say anything. We're going to see if the game runs out on its own. They're probably overloading us a little bit in midfield, but we're still in control of the game. It looks like it looks like we'll see out this game, but it does look like we've got a free kick here. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, maybe we should cite Unai Simon. What a save from him there. And we do get a highlight from the resulting corner. Bruno Fernandes whips one in. Who's going to find it? It's Twanzebe who's come on, and Simon with another great save. Maybe we really should think about this, actually. Another corner highlight. Can we this time get a goal, or will it be another great save? And this time it's Varane putting it wide. 4 minutes left here. Does look like we've won the game. But again, a 1-0 victory. We're not as lethal as we once were. And that scares me a little bit if we come up against bigger teams. We're going to tell them that it was a good win for us. Unfortunate to get that red card, of course. He's banned for the next match, but we do have a lot of people in for us. But on paper, it looks brilliant. It's just not as good as it once was. Look, 2. We haven't scored more than 2 in a game since that Chelsea game. And really, we should be scoring against teams like this. So we'll hopefully score more against Leicester. And then we've got the big Newcastle game to come up. Here we are ready for the Newcastle game. And we actually beat Leicester in the last game. Again, only by 1-0. They had a goal disallowed as well. I think we hit the woodwork a few times. So again, the confidence of scoring 5, 6, 7 a game that we used to. I mean, if you look at the same sort of month, 9, 4, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 7, 3 even in a loss, or 2 in a loss, 3, 4, 7. We're just not getting those same numbers. So hopefully at home against Newcastle, this is the game to change it around, to show them that money isn't everything. And we'll see if that works. Now, Bastoni is actually suspended, so Maguire can come into the side. Kylian Mbappe is now injured for something like a month, so he's going to come out. Alex Telles wants to be sold. Van der Beek can come in. Simple stuff. De Gea in goal. We are going to play Wan-Bissaka over him. Varane, Maguire and Shaw. So the old back 5 is back. Fernandes in the advanced playmaker role. I think I'm going to change it because we've seen that Milinkovic-Savic is actually best suited as a box-to-box. So we're going to change that up, put our box-to-box midfielder on. Bellingham out here on a Mazzala. We have gotten him on attack. I don't know why his stats are going down. That's weird because he's performing quite well. So we're going to change him to support, see if that helps. Bruno Fernandes, of course, always brilliant, always doing well. Fati has dropped off a little bit with 6.8s as well. And Ronaldo's not too well, but I think that's down to his physicals. He's just not physically there anymore to be a winger, maybe a poacher. So we're going to take him off, put Jadon Sancho in, who I want to become our main sort of left wing out there. So hopefully he can do that job. And then Vlahovic up top. He is a good complete forward. Do we potentially look at dropping him to the advanced forward role so he can focus on nothing else but finishing and then no dropping in and things like that? It worked last year with our advanced forward, so that's what we're going to do. But other than that, I think it's all good. We have, a few players that could definitely make the bench, but I'm happy with this. Let's go to our opposition. We ask our assistant, and I'm happy with what he has provided. Let's submit the team. Let's hopefully get a strong victory. It's all green on the tactics. Everyone's familiar. And let's see if we can get a win here. We're going to pump the fist, give them the classic one. But with the attackers, we're going to say, I'm expecting to see finishing out there. And I'm going to expect you to take control of the midfield. We need to start attacking. We need to start doing what we used to and just going after teams for 5 and 6. Be lethal, be ruthless, etc. Let's look at their team. Eberechi Eze is a top player. Dele Alli playing as the striker. That's a weird one. But it seems to be working for them because they are third with only 7 games played. So this won't necessarily be an easy game. And we don't expect it to be. But I do think we can beat the big teams. And if they're a big team now, it seems like we're going to score a lot of goals against them. They are playing a 4-2-3-1 and they start with the ball in the first highlight of the game. 5 minutes in, Maguire, who's coming in for Bastoni, wins the ball first. Vlahovic comes deep, even in that advanced forward role, just getting involved with the team, so it shows that he'll do it anyway. Bellingham over to Sancho on the left, who really needs to start putting his name down as that starting left winger. We might even swap him and Fati round. Looks like that is going to be a goal. Bruno Fernandes coming in as almost our second striker, and he gets the finish there. I think actually that's what I'm going to do very quickly after this goal. Let's see it. I think I'm going to put Sancho on the right and Fati on the left because I think that's natural for them, for Fati anyway, and we know Sancho can perform on the right. Vlahovic almost scoring there, but Fernandes gets another goal. Let's look at Fati. He is supposed to be an inside forward. So we're going to swap those. He's supposed to be on the left. let's see if that makes a change. We know Sancho used to be good at arriving late at the back post on that right-hand side and winning headers quite a lot, weirdly. But hopefully he can keep that up. With 9 games played, 23 points. I think Liverpool drew their last game against Brighton, which was something like 1-1. So we've got to capitalise here, get a victory, and we've got to make sure that we, again, open up that the gap between us and Newcastle, sitting in 3rd, Wolves in 4th, Norwich in 7th. A few weird teams there in the start of the season. Another highlight, starting on the left-hand side with a throw. St. Maximin over the top to Dele Alli, not a natural striker. What has happened there? I mean, our first defender just kind of ran in the goal and said, you know what, someone else, oh, that's going to be a red, isn't it? Why do we keep getting red cards? What is going on? And Telles is on the bench. I'm sure we've got Dalot, but who do we take off now is the question. We do need, obviously, to take someone off. Do we take Vlahovic off? I mean, they're all having a good game. Do we take Sancho off and make it like a midfield 3? And put Fati up top and just play a very narrow sort of way of football? Where can he play? False 9? Can he play as a false 9? That would be quite interesting. I don't think I've ever used a false 9. What stats do they use? I mean, yeah, he could. He's good for it. He can also play the advanced forward. I think we'll keep him as a false 9 just because of how interesting it is. And then I think we take off Sancho, unfortunately for him, and we put Dalot in that space. We focus the play, we take off the overlap. I might take off focus play through middle permanently as well, just to possibly use the wingers more, just to see what happens. But with 10 men and only 1-0 up, doesn't seem too confident. They have had 4 shots. They're dominating the possession. It's very frustrating. We keep getting red. Do you know what? I think that's down to our get stuck in. Maybe we take that off. But a lot of the things that were working last season are now not working. And it's not necessarily that we've been found out. It's not that we're, not getting chances or they're pressing us so much that we don't keep the ball or things like that. It's just our players aren't finishing. The get stuck in, instruction that worked before. Now we're getting red cards for it. So maybe the league's just getting annoyed with us and punishing us. Maybe FM saying you're actually too good of a manager. So hopefully that carries over to the journeyman career that we've got going on again on the channel. Check it out. We just played our first game for the team, and I won't ruin it. But hopefully it takes us to United and we can dominate as we have in this save. I'm going to say pump fists. We're a man down, but we can still get the result. Midfielders, I'm going to say you weren't that bad, but I still believe you can improve. And to the strikers, I'm going to say you weren't that bad as well. We just need to be scoring more. Dalot on a 6.4, 6.5 now. But they do have another chance starting from a throw. Dele Alli to Eze, back to Trincao. Coop Miners with the shot. And De Gea has been in unbelievable form of late. Just pulling off some wonder saves in all our games as Milinkovic-Savic gets it clear. Playing in the box-to-box midfielder role now. St. Maximin back, but Bellingham intercepts. And nothing comes of it for Newcastle. So we're going to demand more from the boys. Hopefully that raises their mood. It does. And hopefully we can open up the gap a little bit more. But Ansu Fati there, just almost passing it into the keeper's hands rather than smacking it in the back of the net. And I've also noticed throughout this episode, we say hopefully a lot. We're not overly confident, are we? So maybe we need to improve that. Pardon me. Now, we're going to take off focus play through the middle. Probably put on some short passing and less pressing, etc. right after this highlight. Bruno Fernandes back to Varane. This way we can keep the possession. Maybe keep more direct passing on actually and just take off the press and stay compact and then counter and whatnot. Wan-Bissaka can't quite get the ball to a United man, to a man in red. Vlahovic turns his defender and what an effort there. But a great save as well. So let's have a look. We'll leave everything as it is on the attacking outlet. When possession has been won, we're going to counter. When possession has been lost, we're going to regroup. I don't mind distributing the ball quickly. But we're just going to probably trigger the press a standard amount. When we need to, we will. When we don't, we won't. But there's also that fear of if you don't give the players instructions, they might not know what they need to do, which is frustrating. Bellingham getting a little bit knackered. We are playing him a lot lately, obviously. Now we're playing almost the same midfield three every week. But we do like him in that role, so hopefully we are able to keep him in. Mancini and Diego Carlos, two great centre-back options for Newcastle, but our right-back, Wan-Bissaka, intercepts Fati in the false 9 role, tries to play the ball over the top, can't quite get it as they head it back to the keeper. St. Maximin to Coop Miners. We get caught out and Dele Alli there goes through. And again, De Gea pulling off a wonder save as he also plays a wonder pass, apparently. We're going to look at taking Bellingham off. And we're probably going to be putting Donny van der Beek on. So we'll do that. Probably switch over Milinkovic-Savic and van der Beek as well. Just because I'm quite confident with, Milinkovic in that Mazzala role. Maybe van der Beek can do that as well. Who knows? We can't win the flick on with Vlahovic. Mancini out to Trippier, who must be getting on in age quite a bit now. Must be at least 33. Trincao. Back to Trippier, the old man, as we say. Eze turns his player. Souček plays the ball through. He's onside. De Gea. We're going to put that down to De Gea just because we like how he's been playing recently. Closing that angle. And I'm not sure. It's a weird one. Again, another game where we're not playing overly, unbelievable. We're not impressing ourselves as much as I believe it can. And we're going to put actually Van der Beek in this role because I always feel like he plays a little bit better, a bit more up the field, and we know Fernandes can do that job here. Might even go to a 5 at the back soon. They're getting their shots off. They're holding the possession. Of course, we're going to be inviting a little bit more pressure now. We're going to take off the press, but we are obviously inviting pressure. But we've got 10 men. Sometimes you have to. Not necessarily a fan of it, but in the game you have to. And with Fati tired, Vlahovic tired, might go for that 5 at the back, but I'm not going to be surprised if we concede here. It seems to be the way our luck is going lately. Marcos Acuna to St. Maximin, just playing patient. They know they've got 13 minutes left to attack a 10-man team. Dele Alli seems to keep getting away as well. Will that ball go over the top or through to him? Starts for St. Maximin. They're just playing us around here. The ball does go through to St. Maximin. Eze in the middle goes back to Acuna. Coop Miners, De Gea with another good save there. And we are going to, 1, go defensive, and 2, we're going to take off Ansu Fati, who has done well in that striker role. And we're going to put on Axel Tuanzebe, as I'm almost certain they just tried to suggest Ronaldo going in that centre-back role. We're going to say I trust him to make the difference in our team, in our defence. And hopefully the 5-3-2 will prove to be something that helps. As I think we're also going to put him on more of a defensive role soon, as they might get a red card, but no, we're not as lucky as them. Now, I think I'm going to take him down here, put this guy on a deep line playmaker, put him as our Mazzala on support, and I don't mind keeping Milinkovic-Savic on that defensive midfield role. He can play there. He's not natural, but he can play there. He's got the stats for it. So, with 5 minutes left, can we see this game out? Or are we going to be caught out as my voice just almost goes more weak than our goal scoring form lately? 2 minutes left. Have we seen the game out? It's not convincing at all. It's not good enough. And I don't think 10 men is an excuse. We have to improve, or we're just not going to do very well this season. I do want to look at our clean sheets, because I know we're not necessarily keeping clean sheets. We're obviously conceding against Shrewsbury and West Ham and whatnot. We win despite that. Fernandes performs yet again. He, for me, is the best player in Football Manager. Absolutely unbelievable. Let's take a look at our form. 3 1-0 wins on the bounce. It's not great, but we're keeping clean sheets. It's not good enough. Another 1-0 win here, 2-0, 2-0, 2-1. So, I mean, October maybe is going to be our lowest goal scoring month, but our highest clean sheet month. So we'll have to see about that. And if we look at the competitions as well, has De Gea got the most clean sheets? 1 behind Mendy. What about in the Champions League? Well, no, he wouldn't, because there's players with 6. But with the end of that episode, of course, it's all greens, 2 yellows. We're having an unbelievable season. The fans would be happy, but it looks to be a bit of a downward spiral here, just not scoring enough and conceding against teams like Shrewsbury and Brentford. So we'll have to see. I think the next time you're going to see us, we are going to come back for the Liverpool and Manchester City episode. 2 massive games. And we've got a lot of quite easy games. Norwich, Ipswich, Wolves, Watford, Tottenham, Burnley. All games we should win. So hopefully all these are going to be green. And then we'll add greens on these live on the episode. But thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment down below. And please do subscribe. Let us know where you think we're going to finish and what you think of our form of late. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.